welcome to Rainy Tuesdays, a podcast by friends for friends. Today I'm here with Adam.
Hello.
And Ryan.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Not too bad.
We'll take it. It's like October flew by. I know this isn't the end yet, but it's already like halfway.
You say it flew by when we're still, I guess we're 2 weeks in.
But that's crazy. I think it just started.
It's been going
It does feel like
right?
it just started.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, spooky season's like done.
Done. We're barely getting started.
Oh man. I was very excited because earlier today, a little background. My mom hates Halloween. Sorry, Adam. But like,
Travesty. You're missing out.
so we've always joked like she's like the Scrooge of Halloween. Like she doesn't like it. But like recently she's been warming up to it. Like she got little like pumpkin earrings. I think little like ghosty earrings. And so it's like, ooh, we're getting closer to like doing it. And earlier today I was like, Mom, what if you dressed up for Halloween this year? I was like, what if we did an outfit together? And she said, maybe. And so you know what? It's happening. Yeah. So it's gonna be a real spooky season this year, and that's exciting. Yeah, that's my whole story.
Yeah, I like Halloween. I think the aesthetic's pretty cool, and like it doesn't have to be
cute.
like horror. Can be just like
No.
spooky, and spooky's
I
fun.
was talking to someone, and I was like, I hate like scary things. Like that's a well-known fact on the podcast. Is that like I'm bad with gore and I don't like being spooked because why would I want that? That sounds bad. And so they were like, oh, like it's October, like haunted houses and stuff like that. And I was like, no. And then they were like, I mean, do you at least like pumpkin patches? As if I wouldn't like pumpkin patches. And it's like, those are wildly different things. Like I love cute fall things, like pumpkin patches, like apple harvest festivals, like cider and like hot chocolate. And like, yeah, of course, like just the leaves and like everything like that. That's great. You don't need to be scary. That's that.
Yeah. It's like Scooby-Doo spooky.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's peak. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Man. I never watched
Scooby-Doo spooky when the real enemy was capitalism all along.
All along.
That's true.
I think it's really interesting that they were always like, you meddling kids, even though like why would you talk down to kids who are just being smart? Like these kids were just trying their best.
Yeah. And how are you not shocked
go
by
out
the
for
talking
it.
dog?
No one's ever shocked.
Oh man, ruh-roh. Yeah, so speaking of cute fall things, you could do those cute fall things for dates. We're gonna be doing dating app profiles. That was the transition.
A quick one. We never get into our main topic this fast.
I just feel like we're gonna really go into this one. You know?
All right.
So I thought we could go through some different prompts. I was gonna go through some Hinge ones. Adam brought up that OkCupids are like really silly, and they are. From looking at them very briefly. What's up?
I don't know if I would say as silly. We'll see what we get to. Some of these OkCupid ones are extremely political.
Yeah, I found some silly ones.
I don't think we could have a good discussion on because some of them are like.
We would all just agree.
Yeah.
It's like, do you think people should have rights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the questions was literally like, do you think gay people are morally okay? It was like, well, yes, obviously, because it's 2021.
That's such a like wild thing to me. We won't get into it because I think like we'll all get heated and ranty if we do. But it's like, imagine being like, is this person okay to be a person? It's like,
right?
Yes. Thank you for asking. This has been my TED Talk. Yeah. Oh my god, it's a worm. But yeah, so I thought we could go through some Hinge ones are very plain, but that's okay because so what I like about Hinge is that it has like the beginning of a prompt and then you're supposed to fill out the rest of it, but they have like suggested things. So like one of these is one thing I'll never do again, and then their like filled in response is run a food truck as a side hustle.
an experience I'm sure a lot of people have done.
Right, that's so relatable. And so
Haven't we all accidentally run a food truck and just realize we
as
were
a
too
side
deep into it
hustle.
as a side hustle and being like, oh, this is just
Passive
too
income.
much.
Yeah, so I think we should go through some of those, but then also just answer them for ourselves and see if anyone wants to date the podcast itself.
Sounds
cool.
good.
Awesome.
Alrighty. So this is good because we talked about Game of Thrones beforehand.
We're
But
all
the
fired up
Hallmark.
to complain.
That's something I've noticed. Side note, sorry. Is that like 90% of people on dating apps mention Game of Thrones somewhere in their profile.
Oh, really?
Wow,
Like somewhere in it, and it's
That's
like it's.
surprising.
I think I only pick up on it because I haven't watched Game of Thrones, and so I'm just sitting here like, yeah, that last season sucked. But I don't know what else to say about it.
That's interesting because I feel like the cultural relevance of
It's done,
Game of
right?
Thrones
Yeah.
just plummeted once
It's been
the final
over.
season came out. Like, I can't imagine that still being a topic of conversation for most people to be like, oh, Game of Thrones, remember that? Like, who talks
So
like
many
that?
people have it on their profiles, and
That's
I'm
weird.
like, talk about something else. Like, I can't talk about that, and it's been over for years. So
Like,
like,
if Game of Thrones was still going, I understand because it was
Yeah.
a huge show. But
huge.
as soon as that final season hit, everybody stopped caring.
Yeah.
Like, I've only ever talked about it, be like, oh yeah, remember that? That was what a crazy show. Even though it was like 2 years ago, but
Right. And it's like one thing if like in the conversation it was brought up being like, oh, you watched that too? Cool, yeah. But like to be like, this is a selling point of why you should date me. Is I have thoughts on Game of Thrones. Like,
I
okay.
think you'd update it to be like Mandalorian or something
That's
else.
like-
I don't know.
That's a good point too, is like I
The
wonder
Witcher,
if it's
maybe.
just
Yeah.
they had it like 2 years ago and they
Yeah.
just haven't, maybe? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, I lost it because my phone went to bed. It was the hallmark of a good relationship is trust, communication, and a shared Game of Thrones obsession. That's the ending is their fill-in thing. But yeah, what do you think a hallmark of a good relationship is? A cutesy little blurb to attract people.
I was gonna say not a Game of Thrones.
Not a Game of Thrones reference
For sure.
or
Game of
obsession.
Thrones reference, probably a little outdated at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like smashed
Well-
potatoes.
No. We cannot, as a podcast, date someone who likes mashed potatoes. Oh my
Maybe if we had
gosh.
you on and it was 2-2 and
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's
maybe,
50-50.
but you're outvoted here, Ryan.
Majority rules. Mashed potatoes are not allowed. Oh my gosh.
What were I blanked out after Game of Thrones was brought up. What was the first two things I mentioned?
Trust and communication, which I agree with.
Yeah,
It's a little basic. I think,
pretty simplistic.
right. I mean, obviously, you should trust the person you're with. Obviously, you should communicate with the person you're with. But what should you both be obsessed about? That's the real question.
Oh, okay. I missed
I
that
don't know.
part.
I don't know what obsessed about, but I was just thinking of something that's probably good advice that you should be able to do nothing with your partner. Yeah, with your partner. Like, I think it's important. Like,
I
not
love
only
that.
just hanging out, watching TV or whatever, but both of you, I don't know, just being on your phones in silence or reading a book and just kind of being around each other and having that be okay.
That's precious. That's so
Just that like
true, yeah.
comfortableness with someone else to just be in the same space as them without necessarily interacting.
That's also like always a cute moment in friendships that I've noticed is like the first time that you just do nothing with a friend and you're like, oh, we're like good friends. Like you and I are just like both vibing doing our own thing. Like that's cute to me. I don't but yeah, I agree. Fair. Alrighty. See another one. Weirdest gift I have given or received.
Interesting.
I don't. The only things coming to mind are those kind of educational gifts you get when you're a kid, and then you're like, oh, not exactly what I wanted, but
Yeah.
thanks, Grandma, or whatever. And then looking back, you're like, wait, that was really cool. Why didn't I appreciate that? But I don't know about weird gifts.
I once got. Are they called like chia pets? Like the things that like grow like plants?
Oh, and it
on
looks
them?
like a head or something. Yeah.
I got one of those once. Of
Those
Shrek.
are pretty cool. Good.
I don't know if that was a good gift or a bad gift. I'm pretty sure it grew mold instead of
Oh.
plants.
Sure.
It tried.
Fair. Yeah. Did you guys see that girl who made her car a chia pet?
No.
She made her car a
but
chia pet. Everyone
I
look
gotta
up
look it up.
car chia pet. Like
Car
that.
chia pet.
It's cool.
I feel like I've
Just-
heard of this
Is it, though?
before.
Yeah,
It
her
just
whole
seems like a lot
car
of
is
work.
just greenery. Yes, it's cool.
Oh yeah, it's a YouTube video.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's wild. It's like it has fur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
It's good
Huh.
stuff. We need more plants in life.
Is
Um,
is chia? Is it a plant that you're growing? I kind of assumed
Yeah, I
it was
think
more
so.
artificial,
I was.
but it is. It's like a.
That's
Yeah.
gonna break my reality if it's not a plant. I'm pretty sure you have to wait. Is it not a plant? Is
I-
chia a plant?
Ryan,
No,
you're the
'cause
only.
chia
You're an
seeds.
expert.
I don't know.
Okay,
I'd assume
that's
it's like a weed or something.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, but that's a plant.
Yeah.
Weeds are plant. Anyway,
guess that's true.
I guess it makes sense for it to be, a real thing. I just always thought when you'd ever see the ads to be like, oh, that's another one of those random products you get infomercials for. That's probably fake.
right. Yes.
I love that some things like just fade into obscurity as infomercials, and then others are wildly popular, like
Mhm.
the Snuggie things, but particularly pillow pets. I remember pillow pets being a massive infomercial thing, and then suddenly you get to college and you find out that a lot of people actually have pillow pets.
They do. Yeah.
Which
I wonder.
didn't know. I always thought that was kind of like a joke thing, like, oh
Yeah.
wow, that's crazy, and then no, people genuinely like them and bought them.
Right. I knew like 2 or like maybe 3 people like when the infomercial was big who had them. But it was never like everyone's got to get a pillow pet. But then you're right, in college, like not everyone, but like it would be
It's
like
very
half the
common.
floor had
Yeah.
pillow pets. And it's like that's a lot of pillow pets. But what concerns me about pillow pets is you can't really like wash them easily unless you put like the whole pillow pet in the washer, which like are you gonna
Yeah,
do
it's-
in college? Probably not.
Almost certainly not.
'Cause, yeah. So it's like I would rather just have a pillow that has a pillowcase that I can wash.
Seems a bit more sanitary, yeah.
Yeah. What a world.
I didn't even
That's-
consider that. I don't know if do people use them as pillows? What?
Or
Some
are they
people
just
have
like couch pillows
on,
kind of
like
things?
couch pillows, but some people just
Sure.
have adornments on their bed, like unnecessary
Yeah.
pillows. And I always viewed pillow pets as one of those things. Like it's there.
How many pillows do you guys have on
Let's
your
see
bed?
one.
That's a great question. That should be a dating app question.
I
yeah.
have 2 pillows.
Okay.
So I like 2 for my head,
Uh-huh.
but currently my bed has 3 because it's a very big bed,
I have 3 too.
and I have
yeah.
it like stacked like a pyramid.
Mm-hmm. I like to
Oh
have
wait,
3s,
I
so
have
it's
I
like
have 3 as well. I just forgot I moved one.
fun. Oh,
But I
we're
don't
3
sleep
pillow
with like
people.
all 3 technically.
No.
Well, I guess technically I
No.
do if it's a pyramid, but like I don't have like 3 like a sandwich.
Right. I normally do like I'll have 2 under my head, and then like if my back has been hurting, because I sleep on my back, I'll sometimes do like 1 folded under my back because
Okay.
that's like a good thing for when you sleep on your back apparently.
Huh.
And then or I'll like cuddle one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can
It's,
you
like,
guys
too
sleep
much
with
to have all
1
3.
pillow? Like you ever go to a hotel and there's only like 1 pillow?
I
Yeah.
usually only sleep with 1 pillow.
Okay.
What do you do with the other 2?
They're elsewhere. Kind of crowded if you're
That
like
makes it sound like you've like locked them in the closet for the night.
banished into the nether realm.
Yeah. Oh man.
No, they're just not being used. I
Sure.
don't know. I have a full size bed. There's more space
There's room.
for one. more space than just the one person. Like, it's not a twin bed.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh. I'm fine. Sometimes I will just like fully cuddle up so that my head is on no pillows, because I move around a lot in my sleep, and so it just sometimes happens. But
I guess you're on your back. I was like, that would be
yeah,
incredibly bad for my neck. But I try to sleep on my side,
Mhm.
so it doesn't. always
yeah.
work. But back's a lot of way to sleep. I could not do that.
It's just the most comfy, and then it's also like I used to sleep on my side like a lot, but then I was only ever sleeping on one side, and then I noticed that like when I woke up, one side of my face was puffier than the other. And I was like, it's just better to sleep on my back so that I don't have that because I get really puffy in the morning. I don't know.
Interesting.
I
But
cannot sleep on my back or on my stomach.
can't?
I can only sleep.
I
on my
can't
side.
sleep on my stomach. Yeah, stomach hurts me. Yeah. What's that? Did you guys? So what's like? I feel like everyone has like a sleep hack. I remember there's this one guy I knew in high school who like every single time sleep was ever brought up, he was like, scientists say you should you should try to fall asleep in the same position that you always wake up in the morning because that's your body's like favorite sleeping position, and so that'll help you fall asleep
Interesting.
fast. And it's like I've always thought about that ever since he said it, and I'm like, well, maybe. But I have like my whole thing where it's like scientists say, but if you like
I'll be
stay
honest.
in like
I think a lot of sleep science is a bunch of malarkey.
silly, yeah.
Because like I've seen different things. It's like, oh, if you sleep on your right side, you're gonna have good dreams. If you sleep on your left side, you're gonna have bad dreams. And it's like I don't think that
Interesting.
really factors into your dreams.
There
And
is
it's
like
like-
certain things of like when you lay on your left side, like if you like sleep on that does help you like digest. Like I've had GI doctors tell me that because there's certain ways that it like aligns your like intestines. It can like help you to digest better, but like obviously that's only going to be for the 20 minutes that you're digesting. So after that it's kind of like not as helpful. But one thing I've seen a lot of is like if you stay still for like 15 minutes, you're gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
And that one works. I
I don't know
think.
if that's really science. I feel like that's kind of basic information.
I mean, it
You're
had to be
moving
tested.
around, you're not going to be falling asleep.
Sure.
That's why I can never stay awake in class. But anyway.
But yeah, so I don't know. Do you guys have any like sleep things that you do?
Not really.
I don't know. Like I said, I think a lot of it's malarkey. Just because like.
Fair.
I think it's people like, oh, my way of sleeping is better, and it's like,
Yeah.
It
I
is what
just
it
lay
is.
down and what I'm comfortable with, and I fall asleep.
I always wonder too when people are like, this position is better, because what's most comfortable to me is sleeping on my stomach, but for a long time, people like, I've heard that sleeping on your stomach and sleeping on your back is really bad for your spine and just
I
posture
think I've
in
heard that
general.
too.
So that
Yeah.
you're supposed to sleep on your side. That's what's best for the alignment, I guess. So I've always tried to do that, but I don't know if any of that's true. I feel like things like that vary from person to person and like the type
Sure.
of bed you have and I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's a good
I was
point.
also going to say, I do know, I mean, I might sound like a hypocrite here, but like sleeping on your back or your stomach increases your chance of snoring. Because I know from experience, because my dad snores. I don't want to call my dad out here. But like, if he
Hi,
sleeps on
Ryan's
his
dad.
side, it's fine. But if he sleeps on his back, then he starts snoring.
Interesting.
I do think it's like a classic dad move to snore, though.
Yeah.
Like I think it's mandatory that as soon as a man like has children, he has to just start snoring. Like
I don't think
I'm
my
pretty
dad
sure that's
snores.
like the 12th Amendment. Like I think it's law. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's like every person who's like, except now I guess Adam's just ruined this or made the exception to the rule. Used to say, but I feel like most people tell me like my dad is such a snorer. He just snores all the time, and I'm like, of course he does. He's a dad. Yeah.
Pretty
Classic.
normal thing.
Yeah.
Um,
My cat snores really loudly.
needs to stop sleeping on its back.
Yeah.
Or its stomach.
Gotta take that cat to a sleep therapist. Be like, look,
Push up against the wall.
look,
So sleep
kitty.
on its side.
No more of this sleeping on your back nonsense.
It's got sleep
It's really
apnea.
cute. Because he'll just like whenever it's only like when he's like fully asleep but he still sleeps like a kitten does, where it's like he'll just like knock out and like his like mouth is open, he's like snoring, and he's just like just the happiest little boy, and it's like this is adorable. Like you have no qualms in the world. It's good. I love animals that are like super asleep, especially because then you can just like pick them up and then they just don't even care. They're just like, anyway, I'm gonna keep sleeping. It's fun. Yeah.
I also know we don't know all that much about sleeping. We know like
Mhm.
it helps our bodies like regain energy, but we don't know like
Sure.
how.
Doesn't it also help memories?
Maybe like
Like
we
help you
don't
form
we know
memories?
very little about sleep. We understand like our body needs to like hibernate to like rejuvenate, but like
Mhm.
what is it rejuvenating? How is it rejuvenating? Like we're not quite sure on.
Fair.
So
Yeah.
a lot of things people say about sleep is like sorta made up, but like I mean we do have like rhythms and like REM. Like there's like a certain time we know like we don't know like what REM is. But we're like during this time like you're getting really good sleep.
I love that. Have you guys ever tried to do the whole like lucid dreaming thing?
Oh yeah, I can
No.
do that.
Yeah? Wait, tell us more.
I mean I don't dream that often, but like when I'm
Oh,
dreaming I can be like, ooh, I can like play around in here and like do stuff.
fun. I love that. That's like my favorite thing. I love it when people do that. I can't. I've like tried like there's like certain things that like you read up on and they're like if you do this, like it'll help you be able to do it. And it's like I've tried all of them. I can't.
I think
It's hard.
we've had this full conversation on the podcast before,
Probably.
but the
Well,
way
it's
I
at least been
experience
a while.
dreams, the way I experience dreams is I'm definitely aware that I'm dreaming. That
Ah.
at no point
That's
in
like the
time
first
during a
step to
dream
Ryan's
is
thing.
yeah, exactly. At no point in time
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is so real and crazy. I know I'm in a dream, but for some reason I can't get past that because that's like the first stage. I can't get past
Yeah.
that first stage, the point of
Uh-huh.
and I can control this. I'm like, I'm in
Interesting.
a dream and I'm gonna watch it play out. When I could be, I'm in a dream and I'm the god now and do whatever.
So
But can't reach that point.
I'm no expert. So if there are teeny boppers who are on the TikToks and they think differently than me, sorry. But I keep seeing this whole like shifting thing.
I was literally about to bring it up.
Oh yeah.
And like
I've only ever heard it. I don't know what it is. I've only ever heard people being like discussing it tangentially. So I don't know anything, and I've always been like, this seems a little
I watched a video on it and I was like, no way this
not
is a thing.
scientifically accurate, and
Yeah.
do not pursue any knowledge of it.
Oh,
but-
it's in no way accurate because it's just dreaming. But like the idea
Right.
is, I heard about this and I like heard about it. And I was like, I feel old. I completely missed this. And I got on TikTok and I saw a lot of this. I was like, what the heck?
yeah, it's
But
like
it's
all
like-
over TikTok.
Like you like Harry Potter and you're like you need to like
Mhm.
before bed like imagine that like you're in the world and like really like put a lot
Yeah.
of thought into it. And then you're gonna go sleep and you're gonna like
And
be
dream
there.
about it. Yeah.
So it's
And then
And so-
you've shifted
dreaming.
into that reality is what
Right.
they
So
say it
it's-
is. But really you're just dreaming.
But essentially, like, I think what it is it's like, to my best understanding, I might be wrong. This is not, don't quote me. Shifters, don't
We
attack
are
me.
expert shifters. If you want to learn how to
Stop.
shift, come here.
No.
This is the Shifting Podcast. No more rainy Tuesdays. It's only raining Tuesday because that rain's going to help you sleep, which helps you shift. You heard it here first.
But anyway, I wonder if anyone's ever, like, shifted on the podcast. So
This is the time. Stay tuned where we all shift into alternate dimensions.
we all just shift to different podcasts. So no, I think that what it is like the whole, you think about it, some people are like, you should write down like what you want to happen, like you should write it all out before bed of like, I want to meet Draco Malfoy and he's gonna give me a little kiss, or like whatever.
Scandalous.
Like, oh, he's gonna see my
Getting
ankles.
Spicy.
But like, you like write what you want to happen. And I know I said like the whole little kiss and ankles thing. I don't think that it's inherently supposed to be sexual. I think some people make
No,
it sexual,
I
but
think
I
it's
don't
just
think it's
like-
supposed to
No, yeah.
be.
Yeah, I think it's just, I don't know, experiencing something you want to
It's like
experience.
I want to
Yeah.
live in that world. Like
Yeah.
Harry Potter's
Yeah.
a popular one.
And
Mhm.
people use it as like an escapism type of thing. But what it essentially sounds like to me is that they are like thinking a lot about this before bed, and then also like opening their minds up to lucid dreaming. And so they're having a dream about what they want to have a dream about and then being able to control it in there. And so it's like that is what I think it is. I'm so sorry, TikTok, if I'm wrong. But like
But we're
yeah.
not wrong because we're shifting experts.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
If you
Shift
think we
with
got
us.
something wrong, just contact Margot.
Stop that.
And
Oh.
she'll put you straight. She's the
No,
expert.
No. Zoinks. There's a new thing on Spotify where you can do polls or like questions and stuff.
Oh,
I've
one.
I
done
thought
it.
you said Kohl's, like
Yeah, I
the,
did as
the
well.
clothing
Kohl's.
store.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Where you can shift to Kohl's.
Get some Kohl cash.
But
20%
yeah.
off the whole store every single day. Because
What?
all the sales are fake.
Yeah, Kohl's is a scam, but also I love so many things from there. I'm pretty sure these pants
But
are
it's
from
also
there.
great.
You gotta use your Kohl's cash and your Kohl's
And Kohl cash
credit.
is a big scam, but
Yeah. This doesn't expire like so quickly.
yeah, it does.
Isn't it like
You're
you're
like-
shopping on the 29th and they're like it expires on the 30th? Bye.
What kind of currency
I think it's like a week.
expires?
But yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And everything is always on sale somehow.
Mhm. Good
Crazy
stuff.
time.
But yeah, so I was just bringing up shifting because I think that that's the same as lucid dreaming, unless it's not.
It's the same thing.
But
What
yeah.
If
was the
you,
thing you were
if
saying
you have
about
something to say
Spotify?
about shifting, some real passionate arguments, you can direct them to Margot.
Email us at rainytuesdayspodcast@gmail.com.
Which Margot runs, and she'll see. So,
Yeah, it'll just be me. Yeah, so I think that's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. Where would you guys shift to?
definitely.
Not Kohl's.
Not Kohl's? It's a weird choice to not go to Kohl's.
Yeah, why would you not go to Kohl's?
Well, I mean, if you can go
I
anywhere.
haven't been to Kohl's in forever, and like seriously,
I haven't
now I
either.
want to. Oh my
I
god.
think I'd probably also do Harry Potter. I'm trying to run through like fantasy worlds that I've enjoyed, but most of them are kind of depressing. And I feel like Harry Potter, although it is dark at points, is generally pretty whimsical. So
Sure. I like it.
not like we were talking about Game of Thrones. Like I would not want to shift to Game of Thrones.
Oh
That
yeah,
sounds bad.
Game of Thrones is awful to be a bystander in, because like
Yeah.
the common people just get pulled into all these wars and keep dying, and then they've got like
Oh, man.
disease too, and not a fun time. And then the dead come back, and then they're
Yeah.
gonna kill them all, and what
Fair.
what
bad.
not a time to be alive.
No. If I weren't me, if I were like anybody else, I would want to do pirates. But I'm afraid of the ocean and also germs, and they don't shower in that.
But
And
What
there's
about
all the ocean.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
yeah. I always just call it pirates, which I realize I shouldn't because that's like a third of the title.
I
But
thought you meant like go back to the time of pirates.
oh no, that's
Cool, that
it's just
historical. That's worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's
that's
me-
worse. If
yeah,
you do
it's
Pirates
way
of the
worse.
Caribbean, you've got like fun pirates.
sure. No, I would want. I love Pirates of the Caribbean, and like I want to be in that universe, but also I'm deathly afraid of the ocean, and I like showers. So not the best one for.
Oh, I was gonna say I think this is actually true of Vikings, but I thought there was a thing about like pirates being more hygienic. But I think that's a Viking thing
that's
actually.
Vikings.
That Vikings were really
Vikings
hygienic, so that
cool.
they like landed and the local
Yeah.
woman would be like, "You guys
Maybe like whoa.
are terrible. Look at these people who actually take care of themselves." And that was part of
Yeah.
the reason like the English hated the Vikings so much.
Vikings are super super cool. I have like oh man, I did like this whole deep dive into Viking weddings, and they're fascinating. There's so many cool things about them. My favorite things are the night before. So like his bachelor party, the groom breaks into a grave of his ancestors, and takes a sword from them.
That's
And then
pretty metal.
it's
Yeah.
fucking cool. And he gives it to his bride, right?
Even better. That's cool.
Even better. And it's just like super cool. But then like on the way into like the ceremony after they've like done their whole like vows and everything, he like they ride on horses to wherever the like feast hall is, and then he like shoves it into the ceiling. And if it's like if
Pretty
it
sweet.
is like far in there, like if he like really stabbed the ceiling, it's gonna be a long marriage.
I like that. We should bring
We're
that
staying
back.
together.
Let me
Right?
stab
cool?
ceilings.
Oh
I think
my
Venue
God.
might be mad at me, but
Yeah.
you know,
Let me be a grave robber. Like,
Also, venues
shit.
have so many holes in the
I'm a
ceiling.
grave robbing too.
Oh man, yeah, but they're pretty sick. Also, like they have a lot of cool things in the outfits that they wear and like what they like put in their hair and everything. A lot of it is super symbolic for different things, and I think that's always really cool. But yeah, Vikings are fun. I'm gonna ask a different question.
I was also gonna say with like pirates.
Yes.
We were talking before about like how history sort of like hides a lot of like LGBTQ like people, and pirates were a big part of that.
Yeah.
Super gay.
A
Yeah.
lot of like
There was the
yeah.
Anne Bonny, I think, and then the other one. This is bad, but there was these like famous women pirates who dated each other.
Good.
Because
That's
homosexuality was illegal in the navies.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Okay, I go crazy for. That's the prompt. Their answer is the Chicago Bears in stand-up comedy. Da Bears. I tried to say bears like you guys do. I think I
I
nailed
went
it.
crazy for the Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears.
Beer. Whoa, it's like a
Bears.
northern accent.
Yeah.
They'll say it like that sometimes.
Do we?
I don't know about you guys specifically, but like people at our college, absolutely. Beers.
Yeah, that's like a
Beers.
Wisconsin, Minnesota accent there.
Beers. Yeah, it's all the same. Yeah. What do you guys go crazy for other than beers?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
If someone, I think we mentioned this before, but if someone says like, "Oh, I like Star Wars," I'm like, "Oh, this person's cool."
Right. Yeah. Classic.
Probably the Marvel stuff.
That
What
too.
If finale? Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, is it done?
Yes.
Did they stop it?
They did.
That's pretty good.
I stopped hearing about it like weeks ago, and so I thought that it was already done like weeks ago.
I feel like this one didn't get talked as much, probably because
Oh, okay.
it is. There's no need to watch it if you don't particularly care about Marvel. It doesn't really impact anything. It is just kind of for fun. So
I
I
wasn't
don't
really,
think people talk about it as much, but it was good.
Yeah, I liked
Nice.
it. I wasn't really a fan of the finale because I was like, because at the end they bring like all the characters back together, and it's like
Cool.
they didn't need to do that.
It was
But
kinda
Right.
fun.
because like I don't know, there were some stories I was like, I would have liked to see a conclusion of, like the Killmonger one sort of ends halfway through, and it's like I would like to see where that like concluded instead of for like the main like battle at the end. But the main battle was really cool. So
But it was really cool, and I liked that you have like 8 different, completely different storylines that then all come together at the end for the one finale that you didn't think were connected in any way. And I guess they still weren't, but they were brought together in an interesting way.
That and like
Fair.
I don't know. Also, they brought in like Gamora in the end, and it's like I would like to know like her storyline as well.
There was one episode that wasn't able to be completed in time, but they still reference it in the finale. So it's like there's just an episode that we never got to see, and they're acting like it was here, and it was not. But it'll be next season.
Yeah.
Fair. What's a Marvel show that they haven't said that they're gonna do, but that you guys really want them to do? Like, what's a character that you would just be like, I want that. Like, I want to know all about that.
I don't know about any character. I don't know a ton about Marvel. I mean, I know more Marvel than DC, but I don't know if there's anything that I've been like, oh, wish they would do this obscure character. The one thing that I think would be fun is if they just had a sitcom of Marvel characters,
Oh, that would be interesting.
which would just
Yeah.
be kind of like Avengers Tower, all the bigger characters, and just kind of like a Brooklyn Nine-Nine format of like, occasionally maybe they'll do some hero stuff, but the most part is just kind of office antics. I think that would be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that it would ever happen, but
Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl's
Oh,
cool.
man.
Crazy character.
Yes. Oh my god. Wasn't she made to be like the most powerful?
Yeah, she beat Thanos. She beat Doctor Doom.
Love that.
She, I think, at one point wielded the Infinity Gauntlet. So.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
And she's got the power of squirrels.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my favorite, like, when I was younger, like, I used to watch the X-Men cartoons, and my favorite was Iceman. I want to see something with him.
I think ice is a very cool superpower, like in general. Yeah. No pun intended, although there was a pun there.
Also, there used to be a show called Spider-Man and Friends. Which
yeah,
was like
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
And Iceman and another lady.
Firestar.
Firestar. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know if it was that, but yeah. And I think maybe that's the next thing they do after Spider-Man 3. Bring in Iceman, bring in Firestar, live action.
Be pretty sweet.
Hey, Doctor
Are
Strange is in
Marvel?
that too, so.
They always are.
There we go.
Fair. Okay. I know we've talked about this in the past, but we're gonna talk about it now. Again, sorry. Love language. It's my love language is
English. Oh.
Oh man. I saw this. So
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, real answer. I think mine's probably quality time. But then I saw this thing on TikTok. I can say that now. Isn't that funny? But
Wow. Joining the rest of us.
yeah, I've joined. But I saw this thing on TikTok. It was this guy who was like, turns out these are all like made up. They mean nothing.
Yeah,
all
I was
fake.
gonna say I saw something about how, not that they're not fake, but that it's not like you only have one. Everyone has all of them.
Oh
for the
no,
most
yeah.
part.
Yeah.
That,
Well, which we've always known. Like, it's never been like you only like do love in this way. But it was essentially like there's a lot of myths around them where it's like your love language is what you lacked most as a child.
I don't even know
And
about
it's
that.
like it's
All
like
right,
that's like what you
Freud.
crave most. Yeah, basically. And this guy was like, actually, they mean nothing. Like, yeah, I guess these are things that people find nice, but like your love language could also just be like a stupid little thing like that has nothing to do with any of these, you know? And it's like, I don't know. It was a time. Yeah.
Definitely quality time for me though.
I think it's the best one. I know that all
So
the map.
there's 5, so we should run through them. So quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, I think.
Acts of
is it-
service and
acts of
physical
service
touch.
and physical touch, yeah.
Can I go quantity time?
Quantity time.
Instead of quality time.
Oh my gosh.
Just want to spend every second of every day with them, but have it all be kind
Kind
of
of just like,
bad.
It's all just yeah. I think the example on the TikTok, which I thought was like really interesting, is those couples that like shit talk each other. Yeah. And it's like that's like their love language, but like it's not one of the 5, you know? And so that was interesting to me. I don't
Yeah, it's
like
not an
those, though.
exclusive list.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like a good little bit of razzing in a relationship is
Yeah.
fine, but I don't understand the ones where it's like, haha, I hate my boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's like, why are
Yeah.
you with him?
I was gonna elaborate on that further, but yeah, that's.
Yeah. Right?
definitely
Like,
feel
it's
the same.
weird.
I also like use the term razzing someone, just joshing
Good,
them
good old
around.
razz. I feel like I've like really, really used some weird words in this podcast already. But Yeah, no, I don't understand the ones that are like, I fully would break up with him. Oh man,
Yeah.
and it's like, then do it.
It's like those like the boomer memes of like, oh,
Yeah.
I hate my wife.
kid can't read book and I hate my wife. Of,
Ball and chain.
With like a Minions
that's
meme.
so weird.
Yeah.
But I was gonna
Oh,
say
man.
too that we talked about this before, but like prank channels or sometimes couples and their like
Oh, yeah.
relationship is about pranking each other. It's like that doesn't seem super healthy, maybe.
Yeah. It's a thing on TikTok now, where it's like, and this was, luckily, it's never been on my TikTok.
Not on my TikTok.
But I was like looking into it before I got a TikTok, and like it is fully a thing, except they're like shorter, right? And it's not this whole like YouTube made for kids thing. It's still made for kids, right? But it's not this like today I'm gonna like tell my girlfriend I don't love her. It's like it's just like, you know, a 15-second video of a guy telling his girlfriend he doesn't love her. Or like someone will like be on the phone and be like, oh my god, yeah, and I slept with him like in front of their boyfriend, and it's like, it's just trying to see my boyfriend's reaction, and it's like, that's not good. I know it's fake,
pretty bad.
like I know it's something that they're like doing to like get views, and I get that, but it's still like, imagine like the people that are doing that for real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, also, like, who's having that conversation in front of their boyfriend talking about
I
another
know.
relationship?
I know. What I don't know if it's real or not, and this trend happened before I got a TikTok, but the electric love thing, where it's like, I put this song on and then I kissed my best friend, see what they did, or I like admitted to them that I was deeply in love with them.
Yeah, I've seen those TikToks.
Yeah, are those real, or is it the same thing?
I feel like the only ones I've seen have been like they did this. They made the TikTok after it happened. That they didn't actually have the conversation in the TikTok. This happened previously, and then they were like, "Oh, let's make a TikTok," because it was a trend.
Right.
Yeah, because there was like some
Okay.
song about it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Alrighty. Well, that was that. I think that those are equally as weird. If they were real, I don't think all of them are, if any of them. But I don't think you should just randomly kiss someone that you've only been friends with, without a consensual conversation first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot take. Don't go kissing people.
Little messy.
A little messy. Just strange.
Probably better
Anyway.
ways to do that.
Yeah. It's not to say you can't kiss your friends. Go for it. But, like, also make sure that they're okay with it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. But yeah, I also, before I switch off I just wanted to say, like, I've seen some couples just be, like, actively, like, mean to each other. Where it's, like, just actively making fun of each other, and not the whole like I'd break up with them if I could, but they're just like mean to each other, and then they like think that it's fun. And I know that some people do that like with friends too, and it's like I've never understood that type of like relationship, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a thing. Okay. Worst idea I've ever had. I tried to say that one like the TikTok sound.
I was gonna. I'm glad you're finally on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know what? Red flag if someone's not on TikTok and they
It's not a red flag.
and they instead get their TikToks on Instagram Reels.
Also not a red flag.
Red flag.
It just
That
means
is
that
a
they're
red
not hip
flag.
with the kids.
No, red flag because, all right, specifically if you act a little bit elitist about the fact that you're not on TikTok, but you watch TikToks anyways, just on a different platform. Watch
That I will
TikToks
agree
on
with.
TikTok.
I get
If you
my
didn't wanna
TikToks
get TikTok-
from LinkedIn.
If you don't want to get TikTok and then you never really
Consume
like you just never
TikToks,
really
that's fine.
watch these things, whatever. But if you don't
Yeah.
get TikTok, you're like, oh, I'm not about that TikTok life, and then
Sure.
watch TikToks anyways elsewhere.
What are you
just get a
doing?
TikTok.
But also, don't be mean about people having a TikTok.
Yeah.
That's it. That's literally it. I was telling someone the other day that I like just got a TikTok. And they were like, ugh, lost another one. And it's like,
Yeah.
what?
TikTok is
Like,
great.
Lost to what?
like I guess comrade. But it was like it's just strange to be so like I think it's like the thing where it's like hating what teenagers hate and specifically teenage girls.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just stupid. Like let people have fun. If they're
It's
having
funny-
fun with something, just be okay with it.
It feels like such an outdated opinion too. Like maybe 2
Yeah.
years ago when TikTok was kind of just middle schoolers, but everybody uses TikToks. Every big brand is on TikTok. It's if you can count it as a social media, it's like the social media right now.
And as someone who like just got it, and I want to be clear, when you first get it, it is still just middle schoolers, and it is like tiny girls dancing, and that feels really uncomfortable. But you just gotta like muster it up for like a good like 30 minutes. I feel like was accumulative of like what it took, and it can be spaced out. Mine was it took about like a week for me to like TikTok, but like if you get to that point, then you're gonna have like good stuff where you don't feel creepy. Because I understand that concern, because I really felt creepy for the first like time that I was on TikTok. I was like,
I feel like
why?
I didn't see like young children when I first got TikTok.
Yeah.
They're like babies. Like it's like
I don't
like
think
they
I ever-
look tiny. Like
I guess I saw Charlie D'Amelio a couple times when I first got it, and she's like
no, I'm talking
16
younger.
maybe, but I've never seen any kids. She's probably the youngest person I ever got.
Yeah,
But she's
like,
widely popular, so
she's
makes
widely
sense.
popular. Makes sense. But it's like it was like kids. Like I would think maybe 8 or 9.
Oh,
And it's
jeez.
like they shouldn't be on there. First of all, fundamentally, I think that that's probably bad for their mental health. But it's even worse for their mental health when like the thing that they were doing was it was this like filter where it was like every time you like wiped your hand over your face, it would put more makeup on you, and it would like make you look hotter, like quote end quote. And so it was like it was just wildly disturbing. It was like, why is this like 8-year-old girl trying to look like a supermodel kind of thing? And it was just like sad. It was like because she looked like really sad at the beginning, and then like as she like did the swiping thing, and then she was like confident at the end, and I was like, buddy, you're like
Yeah,
a kid.
some of those filters
like-
seem pretty bad for a kid's
Yeah,
mental
for
health
self-esteem.
when they like.
Yeah.
Some of them are really wildly impact the way you look, and
Yeah,
they
they
don't even
really
like
do.
say that's what they do.
No, it's like cute brow filter, and it's like, and also like lots of Botox. Like it's like I don't know, it's a lot and it's sad. But like I want to make clear, as horrible as that aspect is of TikTok, it's true of every single social media. Like there will always be things that are really harmful towards
Yeah.
children on social media.
Exactly. I think we talked about this a
yeah.
little bit last week. I don't know if we brought this up, but did you guys see like the one congressional hearing where the guy didn't know what Finsta was?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Hysterical.
hilarious, but also so
It's like,
depressing.
Finsta's
'cause he
a
was just
product you
like-
do. It's like, no, Finsta's a
It's like,
slang
no, it's just a
term.
thing.
I will say
He was like,
could
but
have
will you
explained-
ban Finsta?
She could have explained it a little bit better, but he also did fundamentally not understand and not want to understand. So
Yeah.
He also cut her off like once or twice
Yeah.
when she was like, no slang, and then he would be like, are you gonna stop this
you're
product?
gonna
And it's
ban
like,
this.
Ban
and
the
it's like,
Finsta.
well,
A funny
you
thing,
can't
too-
ban Finsta. Like,
A funny thing too that this has made its way to a congressional representative of like
Crazy.
this is a problem. I didn't realize
Yeah.
Finstas were that popular, or more accurately, I didn't realize they were known enough to be like this is something that parents are worried about, and they have complained and it has reached Congress people.
So part of it is that, and part of it they thought was like the fake news of
Right.
like that's spreading through
Finstas,
there.
that's not
but-
It's
Finsta.
fake.
But that's
Instagram.
not what.
It's
yeah.
not what a Finsta is.
Two completely different things. But the one thing I saw recently was like Instagram was talking about like maybe upping the minimum age to 17 in order to have an Instagram
Yeah.
and like having verification with that.
One thing. So to be clear, in case anyone doesn't know who's listening, a Finsta is a fake Instagram where it's like you have your main account on Instagram, but then you have a Finsta where it's just like close friends who follow you, and it's typically this is what I was gonna ask is I do have a Finsta, and it's only for like one of my other friends. Like I only let one friend follow it, and it's really
Doesn't
just
seem like a Finsta then.
it's so that I can shit post her all the time and just like do weird
It's like
like
just another
memes
avenue
about
to
like
text her.
It absolutely is, and I love it. But like, I also have friends who have it with like only 10 people are on their Finsta kind of thing, and it's like, I thought that Finstas were either for shit posting or for posting something that's like, here's like my personal thoughts today. Like here's what I'm feeling. Do
I
people
have only
actually
seen Finstas as like rants. People being like,
Sure.
I'm angry about this thing, and it's
Uh-huh.
not usually something to actually be angry about, but they're angry about it in
It's
the
just
moment.
getting it out. Yeah. But like
I've seen a
Well, what I was-
variety. Yeah, you finish your thought, Margot.
my only thing was I was wondering is it's like because when she was talking about it in the congressional hearing, she was like, might be a thing that they just don't want like their parents to see or like
Oh, yeah.
like they just don't want. And it's like I've never seen someone do like a Finsta where it was like, here's me at a party or like here's me like doing drugs or something.
I guess
like
not that. What I've seen from Finsta is it's kind of more personal things that you wouldn't put out on general social media.
Yeah.
You have to like a private group of friends, but probably things that, and not party wise, but that you wouldn't necessarily share with your parents because they are more personal. And not everyone has a great relationship with their parents. So it'd be like, oh, I don't necessarily want to tell my parents that I'm feeling depressed today or whatever.
I also hate to break it to
now.
parents, but like many parents probably don't see their own kids like Instagram because like you can mute them and block them even though they're followed.
Yeah.
Like you can just be like, hey, you can't see any of the things you post.
Yeah.
I remember when Snapchat was still popular, and there were those like it was like also when Vine was popular, and there was like Vines about like when your mom follows you on Snapchat, and it was like Snapchat stories of like going to Bible study and like stuff like that.
Yeah,
which I thought was funny. Oh man,
it's interesting too because like I've seen a variety of like, would you classify like people make like themed accounts? Is that a Finsta? Because it's not like your like, own
I've had
Instagram.
people with like travel accounts. So.
And then like
I have a food
also
account.
seen like people that like their Instagram is like only for like photos of like they look good of like their posed and like stuff like that, and they've got a Finsta which is just like regular photos where like it's not posed,
right?
Just random.
Me and my buds.
Yeah.
It's
supposedly pretty varied.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys think we should make a Rainy Tuesdays podcast Finsta?
What would that
so we can get like 2 followers
Two
instead
followers
of the 20. If we, I don't know if we have 20.
I don't think so.
Hey, follow us on
love
Instagram at Rainy Tuesdays Podcast, right?
Yeah, that's a good plug. I think we've talked about Instagram like for like 4 weeks in a row now, so we need to move on from Instagram. We never answered. What's the worst idea anyone's had? What's the worst idea you ever had?
This is the best idea I've had in my entire life. That's the worst idea
That's
I've
the
ever
worst
had in
idea
my entire life.
entire life. Oh my god.
That's all I can think about.
Right.
I don't know.
Can't think of a bad idea.
Yeah, I can't think of a bad. I'm sure. I mean, I actually had bad ideas, but none that register in my mind of like, oh, what? That was terrible.
Fair.
I know.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess this doesn't really count, but it's a somewhat fun story. So I used to do Boy Scouts in like when I was younger, up until high school. And one time we went camping, and it was like this cabin, and we were like cooking food on this like cast iron pan, and there was a furnace, and we put it on the pan, and we were like cooked bread, and then we like took the pan off and like just put it on the ground like outside, and then we're like, oh, we need to like cook like whatever else like meat or whatever that we were cooking, and they're like, hey Ryan, can you go grab the pan? I was like, yeah, sure. And Ryan wasn't thinking, so Ryan went and grabbed the pan.
Oh no.
That had 5 minutes previously been on top of a burning hot furnace. A furnace that was so hot that you could take an ice cube and drop it on it and it would dissolve in 2 seconds. And so I burned my hands, and I didn't finish out that camp out.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's yikes.
So
the closest I ever got.
That was a bad idea.
Yeah, no, that's a bad idea.
That's pretty bad, yeah.
The closest I ever got to camping was at a Girl Scouts trip, except we slept in a cabin. And we'd been like hiking before then to like get to the cabin and everything. And I'd gotten a little tick, but I didn't know it because I didn't like I mean, it happens, but so I was like laying down for the night, and we were all just like in the living room, like all sleeping on the floor, and then like the like den mothers or whatever they're called, were in like other rooms, and I just kind of like felt my stomach, like I just had my hand on my stomach, and there was like a little like thing, and I was like, what's that? And then I like went and like turned on the light somewhere else, and I was like, that's a bug. And so I went, and I've mentioned my my scary like Girl Scout troop leader, where she was like a very, very strong woman. She took out her tweezers, ripped it off of me, and then lit it on fire with a lighter and then threw it in the toilet. And I was like, oh, okay. She was like, go to bed. I was like, okay.
Was it a tick?
It was a tick, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it had, yeah.
That's the only
it was
way
like,
you can kill a tick with fire. Well, one
Yeah.
ways, or you can drown it.
Yeah.
But it's cool
She
to
did
kill it with
both.
fire.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. That's the only tick that's ever like been on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also weird because like ticks, their heads can like burrow in and still keep sucking blood even if they don't have their body.
Yeah, it's gross. Ticks are like really nasty.
Yeah, ticks are one of those things that always freak me out. Ticks and earwigs. I don't think earwigs actually even go in your ears. I thought I saw something disproving that, but
It's really stupid.
it freaked me out when I was a kid. Of like, oh, what if I
Yeah.
am in
Yep.
the wilderness and something like gets
Right.
in my body? Yeah.
Also, if you're ever going camping, always wear a hat because one, you might not be showered when you're camping, and wearing a hat is good, and two, it protects against ticks.
It does.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because if you get a tick in your hair, it is a pain in the butt to get out.
It's true. Also, after you've like been hiking and stuff, you should do just like a thorough like tick check kind of thing. Also do the thing where you like tuck your pants in your socks so they can't crawl up your pants leg.
There's two things we're experts on, and it's shifting and
And
ticks.
ticks. One of
And
those is true.
Tick tocks.
Ticks talk. Oh my god. Okay, good.
So, Margot, what rained on your parade?
I love it. Okay. I've been like dog walking, right? And it like rained literally in the world. And not on my parade, but just in general. But then she chooses the muddiest paths to go through, and she's like, nope, this is the one we need to go down. And I was like, but why? And so then like usually if you like walk on the edge of like a path, then it's not so muddy, right? Like because it's like closer to concrete, so like the dirt and everything isn't like too bad. But she's like, you gotta go into the center. And so like there's just this one moment when I was walking her that like my foot just fully submerged in mud, and I was like, that sucks. So I was just like squishing around for the rest, and it's just like when your socks get wet, and that's not okay. Yeah.
That's the
How about you
worst.
guys? Yeah.
My Instagram has not been great. Like like the search area. Like I'll sometimes look through that when I'm bored. Or like
Yeah.
the discovery page, I think. Or I don't know what it's
Yeah.
called. But I, for some reason, am on like wealth or like grinding Instagram about like getting money and stuff. Like literally the page is called
jeez.
Wealth. And I
Rise
clicked
and
on it
grind.
once because I was like, what is this? Is this a meme? And no, it was like completely like unironic. It's like, have you
That's
ever seen that
upsetting.
meme of like, would you rather go for like one payment of $1 million or 5 cents every day? It's like, go with the 5 cents because passive income, even though it's less. But like, it's stuff like that, but it's like not ironic. And it's
So
I don't like that. That sounds
don't drink
awful.
alcohol. Alcohol never does anything for you. It's like, yeah, but also it's not like you're not gonna like be a billionaire because you didn't drink alcohol.
Right. I hate those where they're like, if you just make coffee at home, you'll be a billionaire. It's like, that's not how that works. But okay.
If my father was the leader of a multi-million-dollar corporation, I could also maybe be a billionaire.
Right. Oh man, I will say the Discover page has been weird because as someone who Instagram was like the main social media and mostly is still, it's like normally it's filled with like memes of like Star Wars
Yeah.
or Miraculous, or other stuff like that. But for a few days in a row, it's just been like photography, which I don't mind. Like it's
Oh, cool.
cool. But it's like wildly different than what I'm used to. It's like I'm looking for like some Miraculous memes, and then like it's just like here's this really pretty picture of the moon. And it's like I like the moon, but like just weird.
I feel like it's pretty not centered. Like I like Percy Jackson, recently reread those books. So there was a time where I was looking up fan art on Instagram. And so my
nice.
Discover page was filled with mostly Percy Jackson stuff. But then it was like, if he likes Percy Jackson, he'll also like this completely unrelated, completely different genre of thing that people are also a fan of. And I'll be like,
Fair.
no, that's not right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll usually be like an anime thing. It'll be like,
oh, sure.
It's like, oh, you're liking these Harry Potter stuff and that Percy Jackson stuff. Maybe you'll like this random anime you've never heard of. No, I don't think I will.
Oh, man.
Do you guys want to know 6 life-changing habits that will make you a millionaire at 22?
Oh my God, yeah.
Number one,
have fund. 3 hours of undistracted work every day. No social media. Wake up and go to bed at the same time every day. I mean, that's a good tip.
That one's fair, yeah.
Delayed gratification. Too much partying will ruin your motivation. I guess that rhymes, but maybe. Work out a minimum of 3 times a week to train your body and to train your mind. I mean, not a bad tip.
Good advice.
These are
it's not going to make you a millionaire.
It will not.
It will not make you a millionaire.
It will make you more healthy.
Yeah, that's good.
Practice gratitude and pray to God every day.
Oh, God will give you money.
God will give you the millions.
God, famously on the side of capitalism.
Yeah.
Certainly not a communist.
Certainly not a communist.
No, Jesus didn't say.
Certainly not textually opposed to capitalism in all respects and reiterated many times.
There's not a parable about how Jesus went into the market and threw out all the people making money because they were in the temple. That didn't happen.
Also not a story about how God said it's going to be really difficult for a rich man to get into heaven, the same as how easy it would be for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle. That didn't happen.
God. Related, not to God, but to just focus. There's an app that I really like called Focus Keeper. And it's this like, it's a timer kind of thing, but what it does is it's like, it'll set rounds of different times. So it'll be like 20 minutes and then a 5-minute timer will start. And then at the end of the 5-minute timer, a 20-minute timer will start. And it's like really good. I used it a lot in college for like studying, where it would be like, I would study for however long and then take a short little break. And then it would be like, okay, time to study again. And then short little break kind of thing. And that's really good. It's also great for working out. If you want to set it as like, if you want to like jump rope for like 5 minutes and then take like a 30-second break kind of thing. It's a good app. That's all. Anyway, Adam.
Okay, so I almost certainly did not think of anything, but I do have something, and it's a dual complaint, but not really for me, but just an interesting thing to talk about. I work at the library at my school, so I work at the front desk. We have a phone there. Recently, they just replaced the phone, and this is problematic in 2 respects. Number 1, they did not tell anyone they were going to replace the phone. So this is a brand new phone. Rather technically complex. The old one was probably from the 70s, but pretty straightforward. And this one's all fancy. So probably should have let people know that you're going to upgrade your phone system to a completely new system. But the more interesting thing is this phone connects to the internet, specifically Microsoft Teams, and has a touchscreen, which like a whole, not just like a little bit, it's like a whole big section of the phone is a touchscreen with a display and everything. And I think we should probably put a cap on things that can connect to the internet and have a touchscreen. And this seems like one of them potentially.
Landlines.
Like
Yeah.
landlines probably don't need to have this accessibility feature.
Right.
That seems unnecessary. Like the
Fridges.
guy showed me a little
Yeah.
bit of like fridges, blenders,
Toasters.
microwaves, unnecessary.
I
But
have,
it was like, this is first cool, kind
Yeah.
of, but then you think about it and you're
Yeah.
like, but why?
But why?
But what function does this
For
serve?
why?
100%.
Why do I need to hit a button and pull up a digital keyboard instead of the number buttons that
Oh, yeah,
were
that's
already
tough.
there? Like,
Yeah.
Because
if I want
Yeah.
to transfer a call, I have to look someone up, go to the directory, and find their name instead of just
Ooh,
hitting a
yikes.
button.
And so, yeah.
This seems like a downgrade.
Yeah.
definitely, it's like, because also making a touchscreen takes like more product. It's gonna be more expensive. I have a coffee pot that has a touchscreen, which like is very nice, but also like sometimes I press the button because like the default is like 8 and I want like 12 ounces because I
Sure.
like my coffee. But like I have to like press the button a few times because sometimes it doesn't work. And it's like if this was like a physical button with like an up arrow, I just have to press it twice and it would work because that's how buttons
Absolutely.
work. Buttons are
Yeah.
so much easier to do.
Yeah.
Button. Oh, man.
I love buttons.
Also,
Buttons
I
are
know
good.
that this is a high-tech thing and it's gonna break in like a
Yeah.
year.
And
Right.
what
Like
if,
that
what if
previous
something
cell
happens
phone-
to the screen?
Or no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, like,
legitimately,
what if-
that previous one was probably there from the 70s, 80s. It looked so ancient, but it had been there for that long. This one's gonna
Right.
last a year or two, and then
What if,
someone's
like,
gonna
the
take over.
internet goes out? Like, what if the Wi-Fi is out?
Yeah.
Like,
That screen's gonna get
you
dirty.
can't use it. Yeah. Oh, also, yeah, it'll be icky. Not that phones aren't. Phones are still icky.
Mhm.
But I worked in like small shops in high school, and I like every shift would just take a Clorox wipe to like the counter and like the phone and the keyboards and everything like that, and it would always come back like black. And it's like, like stores are gross, guys. Like people touch all sorts of surfaces. So on that note, make a dating app profile or just an app itself. And make a dating app where all you do is answer questions and you don't actually date anyone. It's just a question app. And have a sunny Wednesday.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Bye. Message us about shifting.
Stop.
Bye.
Bye.